Hey everybody. It's been quite a 24 hours. Just want to hop on here and just, I guess, update those people real fast. My mom-in-law, my girlfriend's mom, suffered a stroke yesterday morning at 9:45 in the morning, Los Angeles time. Um, I wasn't home, and I was dropping my girlfriend off at work. And luckily, we have cameras set up, and we saw her fall while we were on the freeway. So I quickly raced home and um, talked to her mom in the hallway. She was able to answer a question at first, and then literally like a minute later was unable to respond to any questions I was asking her. And it never occurred to me that she was possibly suffering a stroke. Um, Called the ambulance. They took her to her normal hospital, and where they found out that she suffered a stroke. She had bleeding on the left side of her brain. Um, they were able to get the bleeding to stop late last night before we left around 10 p.m., just before 10 p.m. So that's good. And I just got back with my girlfriend, seeing her right before they went to take her in for a couple MRIs so that we'll get more information um, as to the extent of things. Um, so she is alert. She opened her eyes. She was able to move her legs. She does suffer from like restless leg syndrome, but she was able to move her arm. The bleeding on the left side of her brain controls your right side of your body and speech also. She is intubated, so which is of course a it's a trigger for me. My dad was on a ventilator. My brother was on a ventilator, and many of you know I lost both of them. My dad was many years ago, back in '91, and my brother was more recent, back in 2023. So, being in ICU, seeing your loved one on a ventilator is triggering for me. Yesterday, I couldn't go back to her ICU room, so I just waited in the waiting area all day for 8 or 9 hours. But today, I was in there today for the little bit that my girlfriend and I were in there before they took her back to get the MRI done, and we'll go back there again later on today. It's been like I wrote yesterday, like I really wish life would stop lifing right now. Because my own mom had a real hospital scare just a few weeks ago. There were talks of, and I know I mentioned this before, there were talks that they may have to put her on a ventilator because her oxygen levels were dangerously low, concerningly low. Luckily, she didn't have to. She's back home. She's been back home for a couple of weeks now. She rests a lot. She's on oxygen at home. So she still has her road to recovery herself. So, and I actually FaceTimed with her this morning. So that was good to see my mom, because she was worried about my girlfriend's mom and stuff. And so, you know, um, it's been a lot. It's been a lot these last 2 years in particular, um, and even more so these last few weeks. It's, seeing the video of her mom falling was really triggering. I'm just glad that she was able to close her bedroom door. It was when she was coming out for her morning to wake up, and she would eventually go into the bathroom, and luckily she had closed her bedroom door, and then right as she did is when she fell back and hit her head against the door and fell down. um, and this is a woman who's 82 years old, dealing with multiple myeloma, which luckily we've been able to keep it at bay now, where she's kind of virtually in remission because she goes to her treatment every 4 weeks. But she has a rod and screws in her neck because of the myeloma had eaten away her C2 vertebra nearly all the way. So, and they think that she has a small hairline fracture in her neck from the fall, because they probably think that because of the rod and screws in her neck didn't allow for any kind of give. So there's a little hairline fracture there, but they'll know more. Obviously with the MRI, we'll get a lot more answers, hopefully here in a few hours with the MRI. We're going to go back. So that's where we kind of are, kind of just wait and see, but she is awake. Opening her eyes. She's heavily sedated, of course. Yesterday was really freaking emotional because, I hear stroke and ICU and ventilator, and my mind just like goes there. It goes to like the worst case scenario. Just dealing with my dad who died from a stroke. My brother died from a stroke. And it's just like, that's where my mind automatically goes. So I was not in a good way yesterday. But I'm encouraged, trying to keep it level though. I don't want to get my hopes up, neither does my girlfriend, but just the fact that she's alert, that she'll open her eyes, that she's moving her body, and they got the bleeding to stop. Like I'm hopeful. Yeah, but I'm just trying to keep that as I also still have, you can see a little bit, probably. No, well, there. That's my name badge for the check-in of the ICU area. Gardeners are here right now doing the lawn. But that's where we are, and I just wanted to update a few of you because I know a couple of you had checked in, and I appreciate that. It just would, like yesterday was really freaking a lot. Like I felt guilty for not being home. I felt guilty afterwards of not calling the ambulance sooner than I did, because again, like her having a stroke just didn't dawn on me for whatever reason. So I was going through that, like guilt of that. So it was just a lot. But anyway, just wanted to update you guys on that. And thank you all for reaching out. And listen, hey, hug your loved ones if you can. Call your parents if you can. Tell them you love them. And you guys take care of each other, okay? Peace out.